Hello and welcome to another Telequarium from the Alaska Sea Life Center. Again, my name is Alex. I'm joined here with Haley, and we are here for another Sunday Fish Sketch. So if you haven't been following along with the Sunday Fish Sketches, what this is, it's a hashtag on Twitter, hashtag Sunday Fish Sketch, and basically Renee Martin on her Twitter puts up like a theme every Friday of fish that you're going to try to sketch on Sunday. And it's just kind of fun to follow along. So we're going to be doing today's theme, or this weekend's theme, which is drawing like classical art or referencing classical art with fish. So how are you feeling about this particular one, Haley?
I'm feeling okay. I've looked at what a couple other people have done. People have been very talented with this recently, so think it'll be fine. I drew a couple things early in the week just for fun, and ended up getting very sucked into it. So it was a good time.
All right. Well, we're going to see how it goes. I don't know. Like every week we're like, oh, if you don't draw well, that's okay. You should still join in. And this theme in particular is really going to highlight that I don't draw very well, but it's still fun to draw fish, especially goofy pictures like these. So please, if you're watching, think about following along or drawing your own. It doesn't have to be now. It could be a little later. Even if you're not watching this live, if you're catching up, it's Wednesday or something, go ahead and draw a fish anyway. Slap it on Twitter with the hashtag Sunday Fish Sketch and also hashtag Telequarium. Just so we know that you saw this and you were kind of following along or perhaps inspired by us. And we're going to get started, I think. So I'm going to swap on over so you can kind of see what we're working on with our art here. I've decided to go with some blue paper today because it's going to save me a lot of time. So we'll see how it goes.
Alex hasn't told me what he's doing, so I'm going to be just surprised as everyone else.
I mean, we're gonna see how it goes. And if anyone's got any questions, along the way, each week we kind of had a theme, and we would pick a fish and talk about those fish. Do you have a particular fish selected?
I'm going to be drawing a flatfish, so we can talk a little bit about those. We've covered them before in past videos, but I can talk a little bit about those guys.
Okay.
Do you have any particular fish in yours?
I think mine are going to be kind of like pollock.
Okay.
Which we have discussed a little bit in the past because pollock are actually the most common or most fished, I would say, fish in Alaska. Like a lot of people think of salmon or halibut or even crab as like the big seafood out of Alaska, but pollock is actually our really big one. So I was kind of inspired by some video I captured. I haven't started yet. I'm just talking about my fish. Some video I captured. If you tuned in for one of our earlier telequariums, I talked about underwater robots, and I talked about a camera that I'll occasionally drop down in the water and just see what shows up. So we actually dropped that camera down, I don't know, maybe a couple months back. I'm doing some new upgrades on it, and the footage that we got back was a lot of pollock, just hanging out, swimming around, and so they really like to school. I think that's gonna kind of inspire me here on my illustration. So we're gonna get started, I guess. But you were doing like practice.
I was trying. I mean, I try not to practice too much for these, but I was trying to get some ideas because I didn't really want to come into it completely like, what am I going to do? So I did a couple practice sketches beforehand, and they were pretty fun. I've been kind of going for the fish head on a human body approach, which looks kind of cool, but also really bizarre and kind of disturbing.
Yeah, I think I told you it kind of reminded me of like Bosch or something.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen a lot of people doing things where like instead of a person holding something, they're like now holding a fish, which I think is really funny. People have been really creative.
People might notice that I'm not really using a pencil either. I do have a pencil. It will get used. It's white, a white color pencil. But otherwise, I'm going with crayons. Or crayons. I think we had this argument in the office at one point,
Oh
pronunciation.
my God, we did. We did. I see crayon as in cranberry.
Crayon is in cranberry, but it's got that Y in it, crayon, you know?
I know it does, but it's still crayon.
So maybe if someone watching is like, oh, I think I know what he's doing because he's using these crayons, let me know, you know, post it in the comments there. Right now I'm looking for the right color of green.
I have no idea what you're doing.
I don't know. I had like this whole crisis right before we started streaming that Haley got to see where I was like, I don't know what color paper I need because I wanted paper that certain colors would show up on. So, and unfortunately, nothing good is showing up on here. I think I'm going to have to go with, let's see, this is kind of a green that works. I had a pine green, and that was really working there for a second.
Pine green.
But I have lost it. I feel like that's how it was with crayons as a kid, was like you'd find a crayon you really liked, and then you'd never be able to find that color again.
Oh no, or it get like broken in half and then you could never use it.
Yeah. Well, they had the little crayon sharpeners. Oh, no one can even see where I am on my paper. It's all right. We're going to shift that up there. All right. So those Pollock, the ones we had in that video, they're pretty young. Those ones, they're pretty small. That camera really doesn't carry the size of things well. But they're probably about little 1-year-olds. And we actually had some in our harbor bottom tank here at the Sea Life Center. It's one of our enclosures that, you know, it's made up to look like a harbor bottom. It's got some like pilings, like the underside of a dock. It's got like some buoys and stuff sunk down in there. And that had a lot of pollock in it for a while because there were a lot of pollock in our boat harbor here. And they actually schooled really nicely. So I feel like I'm going to kind of work off of that schooling. Haley has decided or elected to go with the more typical paper that we've been using in the past.
I am currently at my house and I don't have too many art supplies here.
You don't have any other options.
Yeah, I got some pens, but not a lot. So I'm going the simple route, just going old-fashioned paper and pencil. Okay, you got some greenery going on there.
Yeah, lots of greenery.
Okay.
I will say that this really isn't replacing too much in the original art. It's not quite as seaweedy in the original art, but...
Okay. Is your original art in water?
No. No, it's not. Now I want to know. Now I want to know if you can, if anyone can figure out what the original art is as we're going here.
Watch me not know what it is.
I know, you're going to be like, what's that? I swear, you will have seen the original art piece.
Are you sure?
Yes. Even if like you're not, maybe you don't know the name or whatever, that's fine. You're gonna be familiar with this art piece enough. Okay. You'll be like, oh, okay, I know what that is. So yes, I'm not worried about it. I wouldn't have picked it if I felt like no one knew.
Like, you can't get real obscure on me here, Alex. I did not take art history.
That's okay. I mean, I was about to say neither did I. I didn't technically take art history, but I did do that that Spoleto Fest in Charleston I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah, you did tell me about that.
I did actually have, like, I guess an art class to a degree, but it wasn't really painting that we looked at. We were looking at like opera and ballet. If anyone's ever got the chance to visit Charleston, South Carolina in the summer, see if Spoleto Fest is happening while you're there. It's a little sister festival to Spoleto Fest over in Europe, and it's really cool. It's just like this little art festival for like a week, maybe a couple. I honestly don't remember how long it was exactly, but College of Charleston there offers a course over the summer where you can kind of check that out. All right, I think I'm almost done with my greenery here, and then I've got to like work on to the landscape. Basically, I'm going to add the fish last because the second I add the fish, it's going to be like, oh, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still perplexed.
That's
Donald's.
okay. That's all right. You'll get it. I promise. You're gonna get it.
Yeah, the closest I've come to taking an art history class was my freshman year of college. I took a history of photography course. And it was really cool, but the tests were really hard because it was all memorization and we had to know who took every picture and what year it was taken. And basically, our tests were just slide IDs. It was
Yeah, that's beyond me.
pretty challenging.
I couldn't do that one.
Yeah, I'm not good with years. It's one of the things I cannot memorize well.
Let's see. I need like rocks. feel like that's a concern that I need some rocks here.
Okay.
I haven't seen any guesses yet. No one's made any guesses as to what art I've got going on here. So
No one's guessing. Can also guess what I'm drawing. It basically just looks like
let me swap you.
Alex knows what I'm drawing, so I told him.
Told me.
But right now it doesn't look like much, but somebody might get it eventually. We will see.
What would be like a good rock color? I mean, like I have black and I have brown. Really, it should just be more kelp, but it's not. The thing that I need to add here is not greenery in the original. So I'm trying to kind of keep it somewhat not greenery, I guess. Problem is I really need like melted crayons to get this fully captured. I told Haley it was either crayons or finger paint.
I would have loved to see you do finger paint.
Yeah, I mean, same, but that's a bit more than I can do. I mean, I can't even really do this right now, so.
Okay, what medium is the original artwork in?
Well, it's paint. I am not classically informed in any of this in any way, shape, or form. It's paint. I believe it is like an oil paint.
Okay.
I believe. It's gonna reveal what it is, and people are gonna be like, "That's not oil paint." Like,
oh yeah, no, all the art critics will definitely come at us for this.
That's all right. Honestly, though, if you haven't checked out that tag, the hashtag on Twitter, Sunday Fish Sketch, you really should. There's some really fun stuff on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
people have done.
So much good stuff on there. I checked it earlier today, and there's a lot of really cool interpretations of things that people are doing. Also, I think this was originally inspired by a challenge that the Getty was doing, where you can try to recreate works of art in your house, and people have done some really good ones of those too.
I'm gonna add. I know I was like, it's not green. I'm gonna add just a smidgen of greenery to the non-green thing. I feel like it needs it.
It's looking good, but I still have no idea.
That's what, like I said, once I add the fish, that's when it's going to be like, oh, okay. And that like right now, it could be anything, right? So that's like the one saving grace here is that it could be anything. So it's like, well, it's not that bad yet, but once you see it, that's when it's going to be like, I don't know.
I don't know. Right now, I'm kind of getting like Starry Night vibes, but I'm not sure. Don't think that's right, because then I don't know how you're doing the fish in that. But
so what sort of candidates were you looking for? You don't have to say what the one you're doing is, I guess, but you want to narrow it down. What kind of art medium?
Oh, I was going for like real classic, like portrait paintings. So that basically tells you what I'm doing. But I just thought it'd be kind of funny. I was thinking about like basically just fish heads on top of like classic portraits that were done throughout history. And that's kind of where I went with it.
So we do have a guess in the chat.
Ooh,
we're gonna see. I'm not gonna allow you to cooperate with the.
What?
Yeah, no, you're gonna have to figure this out.
I can't use the universe.
The chat was also feeling Starry Night, I believe, was they said that was my guess as well. So
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So my guess is not completely unfounded.
You're not nuts, you know. I
Thank
feel
you
like
for
that's the important
validating.
thing here, right?
I'm not crazy. Yes.
The problem here is drawing the fish. Oh,
Background done?
what was that?
Is your background done?
It's just they're really tiny, I feel like. And with the colored pencil, I'm gonna have a tough time of it, I think. But I mean, it is what it is. Oh gosh, I'm already like breaking the tip on the colored pencil.
Interesting. Does the original of this painting have like a lot of little objects that are in this background, or are you adding them in?
Sorry, the tip of my pencil just straight up like snapped off.
Oh no.
All right, hold on. I've got backups. Sorry, lots of little things. I mean, it does kind of have some like little detail in the background, you know. So.
Okay. But there's no like the fish aren't being like an analog for something that is there, or are they?
I mean, the fish weren't originally there, right? Like that's the whole.
No. But like, are they substituting? Are you taking something out?
Yes. Oh, that's a good question. Yes, I am.
That's what I mean.
Taking something out.
I did not word that well.
I am indeed taking something out.
Okay, that was my question.
I'm just snapping pencils crazy over here.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like go sharpen the pencil halfway through.
You're gonna leave me?
No, I got a pencil sharpener here. Then the audience just gets to listen to you like.
Well, 'tis the reality of making great art. Oh gosh, pretty sure we're gonna get into my complete inability to draw hands.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. I hate.
If you did something with hands, that's on you. That was a choice you made.
I know that, but still, they are my least favorite thing to draw. Fish, I do okay with. They don't have hands. Humans,
They don't have hands. You're correct.
Well, I do not like drawing people. They do not turn out well.
Yeah, like when I post this on Twitter, it's gonna be like, "Where are the fish, Alex?" It's like, "Oh, there's fish." Believe you me, there's fish.
Okay, you can kind of see some of your little fish in the corner.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yep, this is the time. It's stressful.
This is the stress time?
You sound stressed.
Oh, I mean, I'm okay, you know? It's just never gonna really come out.
I'm getting stressed because I'm gonna have to draw hands pretty soon.
My fish are like the most basic outline fish ever.
But they look like pollock. They got like the two dorsal fins.
That's what it is. Yeah, I have to slap the fins on there, you know?
Yeah. Okay. My latest guess is that it's Starry Night and the fish are stars.
You know.
I think I'm right.
It's a possibility.
I think I'm right.
It's a possibility.
Which means you did a good job.
I mean, the fact that you can identify it being something is a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're out there guessing Starry Night, you are correct.
Yay.
Yeah. It's just my little pollock, my poor little pollock.
It's such a good idea.
I figured, you know, like they kind of collect in like that bait ball sort of thing.
They do, yeah. It's a very similar thing going on to that like vortex that is happening. Probably the Milky Way, but
I need to figure out how I'm doing that, actually. But yeah,
And
Starry Night, like I'll show it at the end, but it's got a lot of that like smear, it's like very, very
yeah,
striated smears. So that's why I was thinking finger painting, or like why I could really use some melted crayons.
yeah, I know definitely what you mean now. I think it's an oil
I'm
painting. I
fairly certain, but
may be wrong,
I don't know
but
anything about it.
um, yeah, and it has a fair bit of texture to it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm enjoying yours. I want to see, by the way, it's just this portrait posture nature of it. I want to see like a deck of playing cards with the
Ooh,
royalty having fish heads.
that would be really cool. I wonder if that exists.
I'm sure there's something
I'm
like
sure
that.
somebody has done it. Okay, I'm gonna turn this so I can try to draw a hand. I'm sure somebody's done it out there, like most things, but that would be very neat. And again, if you're out there and you're drawing something along with us, maybe you're trying to recreate what we're drawing, maybe you're drawing your own thing, definitely go ahead and post it and tag us in it with our hashtag Telequarium and also the hashtag Sunday Fish Sketch.
Yeah. Last week we went a little over on our usual time. I think we'll probably go a little over again on this one.
These ones are a lot more
They're
complicated.
it's more work,
It's a lot more work. Not
Like
only are we
before we were just doing little, not stick figures, but like little cartoony fish for the most part.
yeah, and it's like if you didn't have a ton of detail, it was okay. But this, when you're trying to recreate something that people find like extremely recognizable, it takes a lot more work.
I got to figure out how I'm completing this bait ball going on here.
Ooh, I like that they're going around now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's the problem, is it kind of curves. I need to find like a dark blue that shows up on here, but kind of just barely.
Like kind of a navy color.
Yeah, because I feel like I can kind of separate out my layers that way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to draw the edge here. Where did my dark blue go? But yeah, this theme's definitely taking more.
My hands are way too tiny.
Yeah, and if you do follow along with this and you're like, I want to draw even more fish, I think they're doing a Wednesday fish now.
Yeah, there's one that comes out every Wednesday too, which is great.
Yeah, and again, that's through Renee Martin on Twitter. Just toss her page up here again, or if you just look up hashtag Sunday Fish Sketch, that'll get you at all this stuff. She's got some just great art on there.
Oh yeah,
it's really killer.
She's very talented.
Which, I mean, being able to draw fish is important to people in like the naturalist field, anything like that. Just being able to draw wildlife in general.
Yeah. So even though we do have like photography and everything now, people still do a lot of naturalist drawings.
Yeah. And those are some of my favorite, honestly. Some of the old naturalist illustrations of things in the ocean. Not a fish, but there's some great illustrations of siphonophores that I love. So you may have seen in the news just recently, right? There's this story going around of like Schmidt Ocean Institute just found the longest animal that ever lives, or something like that. And it's this big siphonophore. I'm not sure. I haven't looked too much into that one. My concern with declaring it the longest animal is they're more like a colonial organism.
Yeah.
So it'd be like calling like, I don't know, like
fungi.
Yeah, like an anthill, like the largest animal or the heaviest animal or something like that. Because I mean, some ant colonies get massive, but it's individuals. But siphonophores are really super cool. I do love them. They are little colonial organisms. And the one that they found was really, really cool, just sort of hanging in this spiral. I believe it's hanging in like a sort of a spiral feeding behavior.
Ooh, that is so cool.
Yeah, and there's some great naturalist illustrations of siphonophores, though. They just look like weird little alien things.
Yeah, yeah, they come in a lot of different shapes because there's those chain ones, but then in California we have one called that's like a hula skirt siphonophore.
Ooh, okay.
They're really cool. They look like they have little hula skirts on. So they can come in a bunch of different shapes and sizes and stuff. I really like, there's some good old ones of cephalopods and like octopus.
Yes, yeah.
Those ones are really good too.
So that's always fun.
My all-time favorite coffee mug has that on it.
I'm kind of like cheating now. I'm doing like the bodies of the fish, and then I'll go back and slap some tails on them, I think. Oh, I was just showing that again. Let me show you mine up close here. So like all over here, they don't have tails yet or anything like that. I'll get to it. It'll happen.
I'm just redrawing hands.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
Your hands. I haven't seen any guesses in the chat. I don't know. The person in the chat may have figured it out.
Oh, I'm sure.
May already know.
I'm sure people know. Or maybe they don't. Maybe it is not recognizable. It's just not there.
All right. I'm going to have to add a lot of tails and fins here.
Oh boy.
And then they kind of go off into the distance. Thankfully, they get smaller.
Yeah, they can just be the little tiny faraway pollock.
Yeah. But yeah, in the original illustration, I think they're trees in the foreground of the picture. In the original Starry Night, I think they're trees, and I was like, well, they kind of already look kelpy.
Yeah, I have to see it immediately in a little bit, but the front one does look very kind of scraggly kelp-like almost.
Yeah. All right. I gotta add a couple little like independent whorls of fish up here.
Some fish whorls.
Fish whorls. Fish whorls are great. Just that schooling behavior of fish where they all kind of clump up and form that little bait ball, and it's a protective mechanism, so they don't get picked off. But at the same time, it can totally backfire on them. Up here, we've got like humpback whales, for example, that go after the herring, and they will bubble net, where they're blowing bubbles around the ball of herring or around the school of herring. And because the herring just want to school up, they get into that little shape. They really tighten up into a tight little school. And that kind of gets them in the end, because once the humpbacks have surrounded that school with this bubble net, with just this curtain of bubbles, then the humpback can just come up through the middle of that and really get all the fish.
Yeah, videos of that feeding are so cool.
Yeah. All right, there. See, I had to go sharpen the pencil, and you didn't even get to hear it. So.
I didn't. Impressive.
Yeah, sneaky. I need to add all these tails now. Yeah, I feel like the medium of white color pencil and crayons is probably not the best medium for this, but
I think it looks great.
I got the job done.
You're definitely right that you needed a dark background so the light color would show up. If you did it on white, it would not have worked.
Yeah, if I did it just on white paper or something, I would have had to just like outline the fish, I guess.
Yeah, no, I like the route you went for. Looks really good.
All right, I got to get in here and just do some movement.
Trying to do some shading.
All right, let's see. I think I'm adding the last of my fish now because I cannot just keep drawing fish forever. I'm going to cut back over to yours. Yours is becoming very evident.
Yep, it's getting there.
I'm liking it.
Thanks. Hopefully it's like with this, even if you mess up, pretty recognizable.
Yep. We've got another person who claims to know yours.
Ah.
And also knew what mine was when I chose a sheet of blue paper. So
what? Immediately when you chose a sheet of blue paper? That's impressive.
Immediately knew what it was.
Wow. We got some good guessers then.
I mean, this person also knows me, so.
Aw.
Yeah, would probably just be like, oh, you know what? I know that one.
Hello, friend of Alex.
Although, like, I don't think I had like any of this stuff ever. You know, I don't really have like a lot of art up in my house that's like classical art or anything. Here in Seward, if anyone ever comes to visit Seward during the right time of the year, there are all sorts of little art fests, little art sales. We've got a couple little cafes in town where you can buy art and stuff. And that's mostly what we have up in our house is just local art.
Yeah.
Which there's a decent amount of fish-themed art.
We live in a kind of fish-centric place.
Yeah.
People like fish here. It's not a bad thing.
People do like fish. It's not bad, like you said. I feel like it's kind of like I'm sure there's kids at the school here or whatever where you've got that scene in Moana where like her family's just nuts about coconuts.
Yeah.
And that's like Seward about fish for sure.
Yeah. This is nuts about salmon.
Yep. Yeah. Just crazy about them. All right. Yeah. I don't know.
My apartment has been given salmon by more than one very nice Alaskan. So.
Oh yeah. It. Yeah. No. Fish and the gifting of fish is a big thing for sure. All right, I think I'm probably going to just add some more little striations to mine here.
Yours looks really good.
It's all right. I will definitely post it on Twitter. And anyone else who's drawing fish out there, go ahead and post them on Twitter. You don't have to be perfect at art to partake in this. It's fun. It's fun to just partake in it.
I think I mean, I can speak for me, but I also think we've both had a lot of fun trying to interpret this week's theme.
I know we were thinking, we were like, oh, how do we do this?
Yeah, we were worried at first because we were like, oh God, we can't draw fish.
We can't draw fish at all, like to begin with, so let alone classical art fish.
Yep.
There's a couple of people that took this theme and they're not even drawing fish, but they're like recreating paintings with actual objects or like sculptures. I thought, like, at first I kind of wanted to just do a really cheap one. My inability to actually draw any part of a fish well would get me. I feel like for fish, I can't draw a lot of it like very well. You know, it's all kind of just rough. Their tails get me. I don't know why. It's kind of the hands situation. I think it's just like you can recognize it as a fish tail, but it never quite looks right to me. But at first I thought about doing Ozymandias, the poem, where look upon my works. In the desert, there's like two trunkless legs or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And I thought about just having like a fish tail on like on a pedestal.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it would have been fun, I feel like. But I mean, as much as I can't draw, I certainly couldn't like sculpt that out of clay, I feel like.
That'd be cool.
Would have been fun.
Yeah, I thought about doing something more like still pretty classic and recognizable, not like really like typical with like portraits. Like I thought about doing like a Salvador Dali fish, but that was gonna be really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would have been tough. All right. How are you doing over there with yours?
I think I'm pretty much done.
Pretty much done. All right, let's see yours. You want to tell us what it is?
Yep. So it is the Mona Lisa.
The Mona Fisha. I enjoy it.
But yeah, I was looking at this, and people always say that like the Mona Lisa's eyes kind of follow you around. Her eyes are kind of creepy sometimes, and I kind of get that vibe from flatfish because their eyes are on one side of their face. So I drew a flatfish Mona Lisa. So there you go.
Excellent. I'll swap on over to mine here.
Yours is so good, Alex.
Well, I mean, I also had the reference like right here, right?
Well, like I am also looking at a picture of the Mona Lisa while I do this. So.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no. You know, it's this. It looks kind of kelpy like.
I don't know what that is. I guess it is a tree.
I think it's a tree. I think it's like some trees in the forefront there. Here, I'm gonna hide you for just a second. Yeah, it's like some trees or something. If you look, like there's, you know, the smears all go upward. So I really just kind of took it even more kelp-like specifically. And this is what I was trying to figure out, the rock. There's like a church down there or something. So I was trying to figure out like a rock or something, but.
Yeah, no, I think the rocks work.
Yeah. Anyway, there we go.
Awesome.
Put you back on there. So we got two fun fish sketches there for the Sunday fish sketch, which if you haven't been following along, you still have time. It's still Sunday. And even if it's not, you know, just go along, put some work into a little fish sketch for a bit, and share it on Twitter with the hashtag Sunday Fish Sketch, and also the hashtag Telequarium, like we've got right up there in the corner. Telequarium would let us know that you saw our video and you were maybe inspired by our video or you followed along. And Sunday Fish Sketch, of course, gets you into the rest of the crowd of way better illustrators than I when it comes to drawing fish. But no, this was fun. It was a good time. And I think we'll bid you farewell for another Telequarium stream. But we're doing these every day on our YouTube channel. So if you just stumbled upon this, first of all, if this is the first video you stumbled upon for us, I apologize. You should really check out some of our more informative videos. But if you like what we're doing, you know, if you're learning from our videos, or you're just having a good time, or you're inspired, you want to know more about the Sea Life Center and maybe even support our mission, you can visit alaskasealife.org, and we've actually got a direct link to our donate page straight down in the description there. And you can, of course, subscribe to our channel, give this video a big old thumbs up, and we'll hopefully see you for more telequariums in the future. But thank you so much, and we'll see you later.
Everybody, bye.